Alright, so it's going to be a quick video on how to find my internals to externals on a higher time frame. So this video is going to be focusing on how I find them and how I trade them and how I use them as drawn liquidities or just higher time frame objectives or targets. So I'm going to be going through old data while explaining this, but it's going to be really fast. So here we have this weekly fair value gap, right? So we have this weekly BISI. So from this weekly BISI, I would want to look for a S&T or a liquidity sweep. So when I'm looking at internal to external, I want to look for a few things. I want to look for liquidity swept. I want to look for change state delivery, S&Ts, or inversions. So here we tap, or here we swept this liquidity here into this area. Looking at our daily time frame, we have swept this swing high here, and we have also tapped into this daily fair value gap. So we have tapped into the daily fair value gap or the daily SIBI. So what I want to look for this daily SIBI is a move from internal to external. So from this daily SIBI, I will look for a hourly change state delivery. So drop down to the hourly time frame, and you can see here that we have this hourly CISD. So we have this hourly CISD right up here, this last up close candle, boom, and then we have this move down here. So from this area, I'll want to look for some kind of internal to then target the external. So some kind of like this. Oops. Something like this, like an internal, target the external, and just continue going lower. Because from a daily SIBI, so when we have a structure like this into a higher time frame PD array, what you will want to basically look for is some kind of move down and then target the lows. Because all of this is lower resistance liquidity run. All this liquidity here is LR. This can be really wiped out like a knife, like a falling knife, just taking all this liquidity out from this daily SIBI. So that's what I want to look for. I want to look for some kind of PD array to trade back into this low and this low down here. These are your smooth edges. So you have your smooth edges, bottom right. So right here you have your smooth edges. And I would want to see a move down to this low. So my eyes will be drawn down here. So I will want to look for some kind of hourly internal to then target the external. So here we have this hourly internal. So this hourly internal right here, hourly SIBI. And if we're looking for a move down, we want to use some kind of alignment. So from this hourly SIBI, you can either look for a 5-minute CISD or a 5-minute or 15-minute inversion. So let's drop down to the 5-minute time frame. So this is your hourly SIBI down here, and we have liquidity resting right below here. So this is your buy side liquidity. And your target would be this low from this hourly fair value gap. So you can either look for a 5-minute change state delivery or a 5-minute inversion. So here we have this 5-minute fair value gap, we want to see if we can invert this fair value gap and then continue going lower. So here we're tapping into it, filled the fair value gap, tapping back into it. What I would want to see personally is something like this, closing below, retapping it, and then continue going lower. So then we have this close, perfect close. Here you can probably enter at the retest of this, stop at the high, and then target the low. You can see how price is drawing towards this low down here, and then we eventually take it. So this is how you use alignments with external, internal, and inversions. You can also use standard deviations to project the high and the low. But you can see how 1 and 1, negative 1, negative 1.5 align with this little fair value gap here. This is your silver bullet zone. And then you trade this area down to this low. So pretty clean, in my opinion. So let's go back to the hourly. Yes, the higher time frame objective is down here, but intraday, I'm not looking to hold. I'm looking to take my piece of the pie and move on. So this was your hourly. Now we're gonna skim through. Pretty ugly EPA. And then we eventually take this liquidity down here. So now once we move down and take this liquidity, you'll want to look for some kind of SMT. So SMT divergence. No SMT divergence. But we did tap into this weekly BISC. So 15-minute time frame, 5-minute. 5-minute, we inverse this fair value gap. Right here, after continuing lower. But I like to draw my premium discount from my 15-minute time frame. So for example, this high up here and this low, that's how I like to draw my premium discount from. So if I'm trading this internal range back up into premium, like this, I want to see some kind of inversion and then tag the high that we have. So something like that, and then something like this, and an inversion, retesting it, and then continue going higher. That's what I would like to see. So if we were going down here, we have this 15-minute fair value gap right here. So we tap into this 15-minute fair value gap. What I will want to see from this 15-minute fair value gap is a 1-minute inversion. So hopping down to the 1-minute time frame, I'd want to see a 1-minute inversion. And this 1-minute inversion that we tapped into right here provided a good area. So 1-minute inversion, and your entry will look something like the retest of that FEG. So something like this. Stop at the low, and then target would be this high or this high up here, basically for a base hit, and that would be your base hit right there. And if you want to wait or target the premium, you can also hold, but I'm looking for that base hit. So base hit objectives using external, internal, higher time frame to have lower time frame targets. And yeah, it's just about pairing the higher time frames with the lower time frames and using time or price intraday to get a real good narrative, real good entry towards a real good target. So it's everything has to be in sync within the market, which is what I'm trying to say. But it's basically just using liquidity, SMTs, premium discount to just frame um to frame entries towards higher time frame objectives. So I'm pretty sure we do have SMTs right here. If I can pull it up real quick. Or it doesn't want to help me pull up. But yeah. But here on this entry specifically, I would want to look for some kind of SMTs. Liquidity swept. And then just have like an inversion or a change state delivery, like this one right here. To then continue going higher. But yeah, that's how I use these alignments and how you can get a piece of the pie intraday. So here you can see how price just ran the lows, which is why it's so important to get your piece of the pie and just move on. So this buy side liquidity right here. So that's a quick video on how to use alignments, premium discount, liquidity, and yeah.